you can love yourself even though you're not perfect. Like
Mm,
you have to love yourself because you're not perfect, really, because all of the imperfections and people are different, which makes us unique. So embracing that is also something to think about and understand how to do,
see yourself
right?
first, hear yourself first, so that you can help other people to the best of your ability because it changes everything.
People underestimate themselves, I think, a lot.
You're valuable, you matter is kind of the underlying theme of it
I
all.
like people to know that be, they can love their own like company. You should love your own company.
Yes.
Because nothing good comes if you don't. Like you draw people in that are not good for you if you don't love being by yourself. Because at that point you just need people around
How
you.
self-love has to come first because it's your model for every other brand of love in your life. Like, you can only love somebody else to the capacity that you're able to love yourself.
Correct.
So you have to start seeing the way that you love yourself as the most important relationship that you have in your entire life.
Let me be that ally to cheer you on to be how you want to be. I want that for you. I don't want you to be afraid of what other people think.
You are the one that you've been waiting for. No need to knock open the door. Take the leap and be the dream. Be the Dream is your guide to authentically sharing your voice and stepping into the life you've always wanted. Whether through music, speaking, or creative expression, we're here to help you own your unique sound and make an impact. I'm Carolee Garrison, and this is your time. As a lighthouse for aspiring vocalists, I'm here to illuminate the path to fearless self-expression, helping you tap into your most vivacious voice. Through powerful interviews and expert insights, you're going to gain the confidence to be heard, be seen, and finally be the dream. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Be the Dream podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and I am so excited to tell you about today's episode because Jowell is our guest today, and she's so amazing. You're just gonna fall in love with her as soon as you meet her. So let me tell you about Jowell. Jowell is a certified confidence and wellness coach based in West Hollywood. Her mission is to help people embrace their imperfections, break free from societal norms, and build unshakable confidence. Isn't she the best? She works with individuals that struggle with anxiety, depression, and self-worth, and provides the tools and support that they need to step into their power. In addition to coaching, she also founded Midnight Wonderland, which is an annual rock and roll charity event at the Whisky A Go Go that raises awareness for mental health and supports the Midnight Mission. She also launched Show Me the Truth, which is a nonprofit dedicated to raising money for other nonprofits who fund therapy, rehabilitation, and medication for those in need, especially survivors of trauma. She has a passion for music, fashion, and mental health advocacy, and it drives everything she does, which is why we have so much in common, and I was so excited to talk to her. Whether it's through coaching, events, or creative projects, her goal is to inspire others to walk away from toxic situations, embrace self-growth, and live authentically. I'm so excited for you to hear this conversation because you're going to learn so much, you're going to feel so inspired, and you're going to see how important coaching is as a practice and how much it can truly change your life. But before we dive in, I wanted to give a shout out to Curtis B. McCollum. He is a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a fellow of the International Board of Hypnotherapists. And oh my gosh, I've been working with him, and we've done like timeline therapy, and we've worked through values, and he has shown me things about myself that have absolutely blown my mind, changed my life, and just left me just utterly a different person. Like, I cannot say enough good things about working with Curtis. He does MER therapy, which is mental and emotional release. He's also a certified executive coach. And if you have ever considered working with a coach, like, again, this whole episode's about coaching, and Jowell is a confidence coach, and Curtis does this bespoke, oh, now I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like bespoke emotional release therapy coaching, and coaching is like, it's essential. Like, I can't praise coaching enough. I'm also a coach that helps people have breakthroughs. And if you're not working with a coach, or first of all, you should be working with a coach. But if your coach doesn't have a coach, you should have a coach that has a coach, because every coach needs to have a coach. So that's my little pitch there for Curtis, whose work is incredible. Jowell's work is incredible. And now let's dive into her episode. Oh, and before I forget, all the links for all of this are in the show notes. My links are in the show notes. I've got a link for Curtis's bespoke therapy that is in the show notes, and Jowell's links, of course, are in the show notes. And I just want to give a little shout out for her, because she has a live, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my words. She has a retreat coming up in Southern California. So if you're in Southern California, you should really consider go checking out her retreat. All right, on to the episode.
Jowell, I'm just thrilled to get to know you today, because we have absolutely so much in common. So welcome to Be the Dream. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. It's been a minute. I think I booked this a while ago and I've been so excited to do it. So here we are.
Well, absolutely. So you have a passion for music and fashion and mental health, which are all things that I'm just over the moon about. So I think I love to start by asking you about your coaching and how you help people, and tell me about how you got into this world.
Okay, well, I'll start with kind of like how I got into it because it blends. So, a few years ago, I had a girlfriend of mine that we were talking, and one of my favorite things in the world is having one-on-one deep conversations with people. I'm a very curious person, just like you said earlier, before we recorded. I love to learn about people and I love listening to their stories. And if I can help, I will, but a lot of people kind of just need an ear. They don't really always necessarily need advice. So I've always been really good at that. And a girlfriend of mine told me once, she was like, "You need to be a life coach." And I didn't really think about it. And to be fair, and I hope this doesn't sound terrible, I thought it was a joke. I honestly thought life coaching was a joke. I was just like, there is no way people actually make money off of this. And I was pretty content with where I was in life at that time. So I kind of laughed it off. And then more and more people started to say something about it. And then I would hear that people are actually doing it. So I looked into it and I was like, oh gosh, I cannot believe I thought this was a joke. This is actually so real and it's so helpful for people. And then I was like, you know what? I wasn't really happy with where I was, financially, not financially, but at what I was doing, which I still do because I still have to pay the bills and my coaching is pretty new, but I needed something more. I couldn't just be stagnant in that and what I was doing. So it's definitely helped what I do now still, but yeah, so I just decided to get certified last year and then I started my website and I also I have a nonprofit that I just recently opened as well called Show Me the Truth. And it's based
Yes.
if thanks, yeah. If you're familiar with music, are you familiar with the band Soundgarden?
Yes.
So when Chris Cornell passed away, I threw a charity event for suicide prevention and I called it Show Me the Truth because I kind of put lyrics of a song together and I called it Show Me the Truth in honor of him and Chester Bennington when they both passed away. So I kind of went in that direction and then I called my nonprofit that. And I throw charity events at the Whisky A Go Go in West Hollywood every December. And so I just, it's just, I realized what I was doing as I was doing it. It wasn't like, oh, I like mental health. Let's do this. It was like, I feel like I want to do this because I felt it
It's
needed.
like an intuitive nudge of like, this feels like I just have to. Like, it comes from your soul. And then you're like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Like, you don't realize it till it's already like in the works. I totally feel that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where it kind of started and now here we are.
It's so amazing. And it's so, I feel like it's a similar path that a lot of coaches end up on where they're like, me, a coach, like, what? I don't really have much. And then you start seeing that pattern of, wait, I actually do have something to help people. Like, here's how valuable this is. And you started by saying, like, just listening is actually so important.
It is.
We really need to be validated. And it starts with somebody validating that, like, oh, our pain is real. It matters. Like, we matter as human beings so that we can then do that for ourselves and learn how to see our own selves and our own truth and our own worth for ourselves.
You understand completely. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong or if you've noticed this, but and I kind of like we do it with podcasts, but when you're listening to somebody tell their actual like deep story and like how they're feeling in the moment, there's a lot of people that just can't wait to say something. Like they just want to relate or they want, but it's not always about that. Like it's really is about like just letting that person speak until they can't speak anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And do you want my advice? And, should I listen or do you want me to say something kind of information in that sense? So,
Yeah, we tend to bubble it all up and out of us when we are have experienced trauma. And it's kind of a trauma dumping syndrome of like, I need to feel seen, I need to feel heard. And we just, I don't know, I feel like a lot of us, I went through this where I was like, I have to get it out. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can't seem to stop myself.
yeah.
So a lot of people I know have gone through this. And at the beginning of my podcast journey, I was interviewing people who were in that phase too, because that's who I was calling in. That's who I was magnetizing to me was people who needed to be seen and heard just like I did. And so that's one of the reasons why I now coach specifically podcasters so that I can help them to get out of their own way and in that arena where it's like, see yourself first, hear yourself first, so that you can help other people to the best of your ability because it changes everything.
Yeah, it really does.
Hmm.
People underestimate themselves, I think, a lot.
Yeah. And it's what's really funny to me is how, within life coaching, like we tend to pick specific arenas that we help people in, but it's all the same like content. Like it's all the same, like you're valuable, you matter is kind of the underlying theme of it all. So tell me about your specific arena of coaching and how you like what's your niche and how you help people.
So I'm a confidence and wellness coach.
Love it.
So I love to give this example of one of my clients. She came to me and she was in her form, she said something about like trauma dumping. She's like, I'm sick of trauma dumping. I just, I want to feel confident. I want to be able to like do things and not be disappointed if somebody bails on me or whatever the case may be. And we just started talking and again more of the listening and why is it that you feel this way and what do you think you can do differently and whatever like the normal just kind of conversation with coaching and but for whatever reason by the end of the by we had 8 sessions together. By the fourth session she had booked an Airbnb by herself to Big Bear, which was like this woman wouldn't even go to dinner alone and she loved it. And then by the end of our 8th session, she moved to Paris for a month by herself.
Wow.
And I was just, my mind was blown. I was like, I was so proud of her because I love doing things alone. I've always been that way,
Mhm.
I was single for a very long time. So I didn't ever want to rely on people because I used to do that when I was younger. And as I've gotten older and more independent, I prefer my independence. So I like to teach people that. I like people to know that be they can love their own like company. You should love your own company.
Yeah.
Because nothing good comes if you don't. Like you draw people in that are not good for you if you don't love being by yourself because at that point you just need people around you and you can't it doesn't matter at that point who it is, right?
Mm.
So
I was just having this whole discussion the other day about how self-love has to come first because it's your model for every other brand of love in your life. Like you can only love somebody else to the capacity that you're able to love yourself.
Correct.
And so you have to start seeing the way that you love yourself as the most important relationship that you have in your entire life. And that's why it's so important to have a coach like you to be able to reflect back to you. Like, here's what that actually is looking like in reality, because a lot of times we can't see it clearly. And so we need help to see it. Like, this is, take yourself on a date, be able to look at yourself in the mirror and appreciate who you are. Like, if you can't look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself that you're amazing and you love yourself, like, that's a really important skill to be
It is.
able to do. And to cultivate that relationship with yourself is one of the best things that you could do for the people around you, because the better that your relationship is with yourself, the better all of your other relationships will be. And we often think that it's really selfish, but it's not.
It's so important. It's not selfish at all. And with that line goes, understanding that, and then this is where my hat comes in, but like
Mm.
understanding that you can love yourself even though you're not perfect. Like
Mm.
you have to love yourself because you're not perfect, really, because all of the imperfections and people are different, which makes us unique. So embracing that is also something to think about and understand how to do, right? So it doesn't come easy because we always want to nitpick about something, and that's fine. I am one of the people that, especially with women, I'm like, you want to get some work done, you get some work done. You do whatever you want to do. You want to feel better about yourself, and that's how it's going to make you feel better. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything within reason, but there's nothing wrong with that. I support it. You know, you feel like you have like a little line here that you want to touch up, please go for it. Whatever makes you feel good about yourself, I think is important to do. Again, you have to understand where the limit is, though, right? You have to understand that there is a limit and you can't overdo that. Um, because in that just becomes a sickness and you don't want to have that happen. But
Right. And knowing that who you are isn't going to change when you do those things.
yeah,
Like, I teach makeup at the college and I love
beautiful. Yeah, you're amazing.
makeup and fashion and all these things. And it's like those things do not change who you are, and they will not make you feel differently about yourself. Like, it's really easy to think that changing surface level things will make you feel like you are more worthy. They do not. Losing weight does not change your self-esteem.
No, but if you feel like you want to and you need to, you
Right.
should. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you can't get those extra pounds off and you want to do, the 360 lipo, go for it,
Right.
girl. Like, do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better, but do understand that that's not going to
Yes.
fix health at all.
It's an inside out job. So I had weight loss surgery and I lost 100 pounds, and I was so sure that it was going to change everything. And my self esteem actually plummeted when
Did
I
it?
lost 100 pounds, because you cannot rely on that to change your self worth. It
Yeah.
has to come from inside. It cannot come from
Yes.
changing anything external. And that is why you work with a coach, to help you understand and learn how to change it from the inside out. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, you can change the outside things, and there's amazing. And I love fashion and I love changing those things because it's so much fun. Because
Yeah. It's about, yes,
it's about fun.
correct.
Like, we are here, like, we get to have so much fun, like changing our hair and changing our makeup and changing our clothes, and like let's have a freaking blast doing it.
Yeah.
But know that you are so freaking amazing in your sweatpants. Like,
Regardless. Regardless. Absolutely.
yeah. Hmm. So I would love to hear how the fashion and the beauty and all that ties into music for you.
Okay. So I studied fashion actually. I went to
Mm.
Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising called FIDM. And
Mm.
then that was like my passion growing up. I do love to design, and I'm actually what makes the money is I am in jewelry, but I'd have designed my own jewelry, like fine jewelry line. That's what I do for a living. But so it's always kind of been in my culture and in my life because my mom is an interior designer. She's always been that girl, that woman that always like looked nice and dressed nice and everybody complimented, and she was the fashionista of, everybody in her friend group and in our family. So kind of like grew to me with that. But with that said, came a lot of like self-doubt, but that's that's different. But
Well, and we all grow up and like have to learn how to overcome the things we picked up
sure.
along
Oh,
the way.
absolutely. So with that said, fashion was, I could think that I'm just a little bit of an artist in general. And music, I love
Mm.
my rock and roll, and I love metal. And I think that that was just me being the black sheep of the family because I grew up in a Middle Eastern culture. And so, I didn't listen to Slipknot and Metallica. And although I did get Metallica from my uncle, so there was one. But so yeah, it was like one of those things where I felt different, and that was the music that helped me get through that.
I think it's so funny. So my degree is in costume design and clothing construction, and I'm a singer, songwriter, and produce music. So I'm like, it has always felt like two different sides of me. And so you also have these two components, and I'm like, it's so much fun to have the creativity come through in both these tangible, physically making things. Because I've had businesses making jewelry, and I love it, and it's so much fun and making clothes and designing clothing. I've got my mannequin literally right
I
next
love
to me,
it.
and
Yeah,
it's 3 feet from my studio.
I love
Like
it.
literally right next to me. And it's like there's the tangible making stuff, and then there's the designing audio, right? Like, and it's still making, but it's different, but it's still designing and it's still creative. And they're very, I don't know,
They're
they
life.
fuel my soul, right?
I mean, both those things are life changing, especially music.
Mm,
I mean, the fact that you make music, I wish I don't make music. I don't play music. I just appreciate music. But I put
yeah.
on a concert, every year for a charity. So that's where I get in with that.
Yeah. But, cultivating music is still a way that it fuels your soul. Like it still comes together in that creative mode.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Artists are, always going to be artists in some sort of way with what
Yeah. But
I
we
think
tend
artists at everything.
yeah. But I think that we tend to like transmute some of those the childhood trauma and the things, those deep held beliefs through our creative pursuits. And I was wondering if you find that in, your coaching and in your own
Yeah.
things that you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's kind of where it stemmed from in the beginning, right? So,
Mhm.
like, I dealt with a lot of I still do, body image issues, body dysmorphia. I dealt with needing the world to see me as perfect because of the
Yeah.
culture. I dealt with having to, date the right people, or you can't date who you really want to date, or, that kind of stuff. And it is the reason why I got into coaching because I noticed that it's not just me. So I always like to say this, and I don't know if it may be a little bit of a cliche, but like my story, everybody says, "What's so unique about your story?" And I said, I think what's unique about my story is that it's not unique. I think that we have so many people that deal with this. And I think that what happens is we don't talk about it enough.
Mm,
We don't talk about, like, people hide the fact that, like I felt like I had to be perfect, and I felt like I couldn't, I almost came on here without any makeup on and I was like, you know what? I'm tired and I just don't really want to. And I can be on here with no makeup on. Like I'm pretty, and I still couldn't do it. Like it took a last minute. I was like, put on some eyeliner, like I put on some mascara. But like that's kind of how my culture was growing up. It's just everything had to be pristine and on point and clean. And like right now, my house is like, I feel like my house is filthy, but it's, if somebody came in, they'd be like, it's spotless. So I have that in me where I try to, I even have to work on turning it. And I think that it's
mm.
a life thing that kind of, I don't know if it ever goes away. I think it just gets easier.
Yes, and it's very relatable and it's
Yeah.
very like it feels really individual and it is, and I don't want to take that away. like
For
for
sure.
anybody, because we each have our own experiences and it really is unique to us. But
Yeah.
it's also this feeling of actually we all can kind of unite in this thing. I saw this reel the other day and she was like, it's my job to go into other people's homes. Let me tell you what normal homes look like. They don't look like these Pinterest perfect updated homes. Like usually 9 out of 10 times somebody's pet is trying to escape out the door and there's some clutter, right? It was like, this is what normal homes are. And it was like, we're just normal.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think normal's great. What's wrong with normal? I I dated somebody that said something to me where like normal's boring. And I was like, is it though? Like, I don't really think normal is that boring. I think that normal could be fun. Like, it's okay to
Right.
be fun. Normal's fun. There's nothing wrong with being anything like that, you know?
Right. Like, let's just embrace who we really are. And so I want to like bring it back home to coaching and the work you do and confidence in yourself
Thank
and
you.
like knowing that like whatever you are, whether you want to consider yourself normal or chaotic, that's me, I'm chaotic. I and it's like whatever you want to embrace as your identity, like embrace it and be it and love it and know that you can choose something different anytime you want to. And when you have somebody who's on your team, like a coach who can be there with you and go, guess what? You don't like that identity of chaos. You get to change it. You have the power to change that identity anytime you want to. It's up to you. It's all inside of you.
I love that for you as well. Like, do whatever you feel is necessary for you. And
Yeah.
let me be that ally to cheer you on to be how you want to be. I want that for you. I don't want you to be afraid of what other people think.
Yeah. And I think we get so caught in the spinning of what other people think that having that voice to remind us who we really are and how powerful we really are, it will change your life. And that's why I'm such an advocate for coaching.
I love it. I love it. I think that I had clients tell me coaching is almost, I like it better than therapy. And I always say you should do both. But I love that because it's a positive outlook on who you are. You're always trying to stay positive. That's what I love about coaching is that it doesn't, I always say like therapy takes you to point A so you can get to point B so that we can take you from point B to point C. You know what I mean? It takes you to being comfortable. And then once you're comfortable with the trauma that you were, because it's never going to really go away, that you learn to accept it and grow from that. And then we're here to help you move forward in a positive light. And
Mm.
your life changes in that sense. It's a whole
Yeah. Yeah.
thing.
It helps you with the what's next.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love it. So tell us how we can work with you and find you and follow you.
Course. So my website, if you want to work with me, my website is called imperfectrockstar.com.
Mm.
Fitting. Um, and you can book a 20-minute consulting session with me. And if we work out and we vibe, then let's make, life happen and work together. And then also I love telling people to follow me on social media, mainly because I think that it's an important I try to be as authentic as I can be on social media. I'm not this like crazy influencer person. Like I am very real and raw and I love to write. So I post the photos and the videos, but I love to write the captions. And so I think that if you want to get to know me and who I am as a person and see if we vibe, that's probably the best way. And you
You're
can
an imperfect rock star.
I
I
am
love
website. Thank you. So yeah, so you can do that. So my Instagram handle is JUJU_Jowell, JOWELL. Juju is my nickname from my family. And yeah, so you can do imperfectrockstar.com, my Instagram handle. But I would like to say that I don't know if anybody is in the Los Angeles area, but I'm hosting a wellness retreat May 24th. It's a whole day. There is going to be a 90-minute yoga session. There's going to be a 60-minute sound bath. My med spa is going to give out complimentary B12 shots. I have Positive Beginnings is a dog rescue that's going to bring some puppies to play
Oh,
with because it's good for us, but it's also good for the dogs. And then maybe somebody will come and adopt a puppy. It'll be so cute. And I'm going to have a full day of catered food, like nutritional, healthy food. And it's all in the one ticket. You can do a VIP ticket or a general admission ticket, but that's also on my website if you want to check it out. So yeah, reach out.
that's amazing. And like all of those things, I'm like, ooh, a sound bath. I love
You
sound baths. Like,
sound like
oh, and then like playing with puppies is so therapeutic and like every single thing. I'm like, ooh, how fun. I know
that.
lots of people in LA because I grew up in that area. So
Oh, great. That's
how
awesome.
fun. I mean, I live in Utah, so I'm a little removed, but I know lots of people there. So hopefully lots of people listening to this will be like, yes, that is my thing.
Awesome. I
Be
love it.
there. So that's amazing. So
Oh,
much fun.
thank you so much. But yeah, it was so nice to meet you. And I feel like
Too.
I really connected with you. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. This has been amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Be the Dream podcast. In the show notes, you're going to find links to be a guest on the show, the free Jumpstart Journal, and a place to book your free 15-minute one-on-one coaching call where I will guide you on how to step more fully into your dream. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and let's share inspiration with as many people as we can. We could all use a little more motivation. See you next time, and until then, remember to be the dream.